Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. My game was just loading out. Okay. But yeah, that was a little bit weird. But today we are back on the Guardian, and I probably have to fix some stuff. Yeah, I didn't change some settings. Yeah, I have not done some settings. Okay, let me fix that first, please. Then we will be on our way. Okay, update. Yes, now it should all be fine. And as some of you may guess already, we will do today some Shire deeds, and but since we have started here on the tiny toons in the Shire, we have done most of the quests, all Slayer deeds already, exploration deeds, and well, we are almost done. But we didn't do two deeds yet, and that's the one where you have to return buys and the postman deed. And I know that we did those like a month ago on the Lore Master, but quite recently I have decided that I will take my Guardian all the way up to probably level cap, so 115 at the moment. Of course, that will take a long time till we get there. At least I will be taking him past level 65. The original idea was for the Guardian to cap him on level 65 and then start another character. But yeah, I changed plans, kind of. Normally I would just play on how's it called? A hunter, since it's just a little bit easier, and especially on the lower level it's way easier to play than a Guardian. Well, a little bit more motivated to keep playing as well, so it's on every occasion a win-win situation. Of course, the little drawback is that you will do less damage, but you still have an important role to play in the Fellowship, and at least in my opinion a little bit more important role than the Hunter, since there are more classes that can do great DPS. For example, a Runekeeper or a Champion was also quite good.
Might I speak with you a moment?
So that's one of the reasons why I stick to our Guardian. Also, there are also some other benefits, but I think that's it's more clever to not say that on stream. Two-way meat. But yeah, that's just my opinion, of course. But quite recently I found out that Guardian can be quite fun. And looking at it not in the most conventional way, maybe. The thing that I always knew from Guardian is basically that you need to work on your vitality, your morale has to go up, and at the end get as much defense as you can. But for now, while playing it and just stumbling upon it, to be honest, I found out that having a really high block rating is either more fun or more effective, or both. Since when you have, I believe, 13 stat points in blue line, you will get heals every time you block. And the more you block, the more you will heal.
Please,
And that way, well, as a kind of an exploit, will get bigger and bigger and bigger. You will get more and more heals. And after a while, you're getting more heals than you're actually receiving damage. And then your morale bar will stay full. Everything will be fine. Oh, to needle hole, okay. So yeah, I kind of stumbled into that. It does give some weird situations, and it seemed to be a little bit more conventional to kill ads first and then the boss. But most of the times, at least in my case, it's the best to save the ads since they are healing me. Hey tacos, how's it going? That gives some weird situations, and one of those was actually today on the Tiny Toons on Fernlands' stream. We were doing the 16th Hall instance, and you get some weird bodies on the floor. When you run to them, they will poop out some weird worms or rather weird stuff, at least. And they don't do really that much damage, or damage at all, to be honest. But you get a rather big amount of blocks from them, so a lot of heals. So at one point it looks kind of weird, but for me the best thing was to just let them hit me and do nothing back. In that way, I'm just receiving heals and I'm ready to go again. And those heals are quite big. If you think about it, you don't really get damage from them. You get, like, every hit you will block about 60 to 90 morale back. Well, if there are 3 of them hitting on you, or 10 or 12, it doesn't matter. That really stacks up and you will be a full morale in no time. But yeah, then your fellowship mates come and kill everything, and yeah, you're still halfway there. But, yeah, a little bit my own fault, not communicating that I was doing that, but yeah. And does it work in every situation, of course. If the ads are doing something special, just as we noticed, healing the boss or giving nasty debuffs or something, then you have to go for the ads. But generally speaking, they don't do that. Yeah, tacos, today it's probably not the most efficient or enjoyable stuff that you will do. You just really have to do the last Shire deeds. It's something I really need to do. Last time we did Eric Lewin, so today it will be the Shire, and next time it will probably be Breland. And after that, I don't know what we will do. Back to Michel Delving. Okay. And simple reason for that is that I don't know where the high rollers will start. I suspect they will start in the Shire. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really mind either. That's also a thing. Yeah, it's no problem, man. Most likely I won't do all of them today. I think I will do the post deeds, and then I'm already a few hours past. So the return pie deed will be for well, or a really long stream, or maybe tomorrow, or next time in general. We shall see. And then you can hop on, of course. We can laugh about each other when one of us gets sniped by the nosy hobbits, or the hungry hobbits. Besides that, it's just simply walking all the way. Some classes are a little bit better for that. Hi Taco, thank you for the follow, man. And yeah, that's basically the only difficulty that you have in this deed. Or you can get hopefully lost, but and that doesn't really happen nowadays. It's something you kind of have to do. You will get marks from them, and in case of the postman deed, you get patience. I'm not sure what you get from the pie return thingy. Also some virtue, not sure what. You get just one patience, yeah. Let's see, do we really need it anyway? In combat power, yeah, we need it, okay. The rest, resistance rating, yeah, can be nice. Physical mitigation, it's a nice bonus, but I really found myself struggling for power when I'm not using any food. Most of the time I forget that I have food, so that's why I'm quite often in some power problems. So I kind of I can't find the words. Tackle that problem with virtues. So it's just a passive regeneration. Of course, that's not the perfect option. Best option would be to actually remind myself of using food. Ooh, nosy hobbit. Yeah, we have time for that. We can. Oh shit. Going this way. Oh, really? Okay, let's go back. I hope that we have enough time. That's a good question, Taco. That's one of the plugins that you can install on LOTRO. It's literally called Mouse Finder. And there are some options for this, and yeah, I found it a really nice plugin. And you can download it on lotrointerface.com. And if you want to know how to install them, there are a lot of good tutorials for that. And I'm not trying to be lazy, but I don't install plugins every day, so I kind of forgot how to do it. Okay, we are just in time.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Where's the next one? Okay, oh, that's not so far. Let's see, I think we can leave this place right now. No, it's not going to happen. Oh, there's also a way here. Okay. Good to know that. And there are some others, other useful plugins as well. I don't really have that much installed. I have the bar on top. It's called the Titan bar, and it will give you some information. And also some things that I kind of miss from other MMOs. Since it's quite common to have on the top of your screen where you are. Of course, you know where you are, but it's something I see a lot coming back. And also some other information, for example, how many money there is on this character. And it also keeps track of the currencies of other characters. At least you can set that up. And also give you some other information of how much you have spent this session or today in general, or what you have earned and your total difference of that, and some other stuff. We have more. There's a small indicator for current durability of your armor sets. So we'll see. It's not in pristine condition, but 99%. Yeah, we can fight a long time with that. And left of that is my backspace. You can set it up in two ways. One way is to let it show how much space is left, and there's an option for how much space is actually used. For some reason I tend to like this layout. So you can see I have at the moment 48 spaces used of the 135. Yeah, I have a rather big inventory. There are some good reasons for that, at least in my opinion, good reasons. And you can also add some other information on it as well. Some things that you guys don't see is just here above my characters thing. Yeah, I can show it a little bit. It's the day and night time. I find it useful to have. I know it's here as well, but then you have to stand on top of it. And you can see what it is. It can be useful if you're doing certain deeds or quests. Know a little bit about how late it is, where you can go. For example, for trolls or whites or whatever. Yeah, it's not clever to do those at daytime. And then it's useful to know what time it is, and it does also works in caves and instances and that stuff. And one thing that is rather useful is that you can also display your own time. Since I don't really have any clock or whatever on my desk, or I would rather say visible on my desk, it's useful to have that. I don't have my Windows bar on the bottom, so this is at least a way to compensate a little bit for that, and it works for me. There are a lot of other things you can pin on it, like certain milestones in reputation, and yeah, probably a lot. I use this since I kind of needed this. Quite sure there are way more stuff and things to add. Let's see. We have some player info. What's the player info? Oh, just your level and character name. Equipment info. Not sure what that is. Track items. Not sure. Not sure. How your vault looks like, I think. You can see that everywhere. That will update every time you open a vault. Same is true for your shared storage, some reputation stuff, and some settings. A really powerful plugin that will show you a lot. And there's also, I'm not sure why I don't have it open at the moment. We fixed that really fast. Oh, it doesn't open by default. Okay. Load. Yes. This one is rather big, but there are some nice settings. And this is called inventory, alt inventory. Well, the name suggests what it does. It allows you to look in other inventories from alts or tunes or however you want to call it. And maybe it isn't as useful for everyone, but I don't use shared storage. I store just everything on my bank alt, vault alt, banking alt, just how you want to call it. Overhill. Okay. And in that way I can see, for example, how much wood I have on another character, or how much ores, or any item in general. And yeah, that's a good way to keep track of it. And you can put everything in it except storage in your personal home and kinship home. That are two things you cannot add to the list. You can add every inventory, every vault, shared storage, probably wardrobe. Just a lot of items. And there are some different layouts to show your items. I like this compact overview. For example, yeah, it doesn't show my other alt. If I would go to my banking alt, it should show you what's it called? All the resources I have on that one, or in the vault or whatever. And you will see as soon as I open the vault, you will have a lot of items will. I need to pay some attention here. Almost walked in a nosy hobbit. I mean, you could walk again. Oh well, that didn't happen. Now to buy one, okay. That's not too bad. Most of it is through the forest. Yeah, and I will be honest, I didn't really use add-ons in all the MMOs. Not to say that those didn't really support that. I think one of them didn't support it at all. A few others depend a little bit on what kind of plugins it was. As far as I know, you cannot really create a bot or something with plugins. So that's something you can't do. There are certainly some other stuff. I know there are some that will modify your world map and make it into a window instead of full screen, and some other useful stuff. And some world maps have different layouts. I know there is one for resources, but yeah, I don't really like that map. That was one of the reasons why I started to make my own map. Yeah, that project get out of control quite quickly. So, but yeah, that's something that there is. Yeah, there's just a lot in general. For example, the last example I will give, the Palantir thing those two bars around your character that Furlands is using. It's also one of those plugins.
Stay and have some tea.
Oh, that's kind of weird. Okay. Talking about saving time. But yeah, for the plugins system and stuff, I kind of like how LOTRO on one side really controls what's possible. At the other side, it's good that they control a lot. Otherwise, you can get either a really unstable game or a game that's really out of balance, and you kind of have to use certain plugins to make even a gent in the late game or even early game.
Is there something I can do for you? Please.
That's something that I saw a lot on all the games. Either had to just pay to win your way to the top or bug everything out with weird programs that not always worked. So yeah, that was kind of sad on those games. But that isn't the case with the LOTRO plugins. At least as far as I know. And if you are in a little bit of programming, everything needs to be written in Lua, and that's a rather easy program to learn. Also, really the only programming language that I know. So, if I can learn it, everyone can learn it. But I haven't made any plugin myself yet. Not sure if that will ever happen. Who knows? Now my current project is the resource map. I will probably be busy with that until the end of my LOTRO life. And yeah, I will just every time get to a new area has new resources. And even if I visit old and already processed areas, there are always a few that I've missed. So I have to keep my attention.
Could I take a moment of your time?
This one has to go to stock. So yeah, that's a little bit what I'm doing. I think the next project that I will be taking on, somewhat small project, is to look at the game a little bit more analytically, and with that I mean get the maths going and find every formula that you need to know, or actually don't need to know, just handy to have them. That's something I did on my last MMO that I really played. I can say that it's rather useful to have. While other players were just needed to go level all the way out the character and then just hoping that the build would work. Yeah, I could just calculate it. It would take me half a day or something. And I was fine. I knew just what build could work and what could absolutely not work. Of course, it always depends a little bit on the situation, on the bosses, instances in general, what does work and what doesn't. Just for raw damage, you can always calculate that. I've played LOTRO for, well, basically when it came out, but I lost the records of that account, and I got this account now. Let me check. Almost 7 years.
Please stay a moment.
But I've played in the time a lot of other MMOs. So I think the first 2-3 years were more like I play LOTRO a little bit and then another MMO. A few years after I play mainly another MMO, and now for the last almost a year, close to a year, I've fully returned to LOTRO. And I play some stuff occasionally. Not so really often. At Echoes, I don't know if you can see it on stream. If you have your character portrait, a 4-year is like this one, and 5-year is 1 golden leaf, and 6-year is 1 gold and 1 silver. So you can always see how long someone's playing the game, or at least that's the minimum amount. Most players will just add the new leaf when they get them, but not everyone does that. And I know there's also a layout with all out gold leaves. Not sure for what that one is. I think that's the one for lifetime VIP or something. I'm not sure. The 10-year should be 2 golden leaves, but I haven't seen that one in a long time. Oh, okay. Almost walked the wrong way. But yeah, I still remember when the game came out now almost, was it 11 years ago? I couldn't even speak English. That sounds rather weird, but I was like 12? Yeah, I was about 12 when the game came out, and I wasn't really good at English. Couldn't read it, write it, speak it, not really. Reading was maybe the best I could do with English.
Might I have a word with you?
And by that day, it was still pay to play, not free to play as it is nowadays. So that held me back playing it for longer than 1 month. And that's also probably why I lost the records. Yeah, it's quite funny that you say that actually, since English is always my worst language. I'm not that really good at Dutch either. But at English I'm way worse than Dutch. And that has always reflected in my school results. They were always just like 5 out of 10, and if I was lucky 6 out of 10 points. And that followed up all the way until my exam, and sadly I had to do that one twice. But yeah, that happens sometimes. And still at writing it, I'm not really that good at it. I can listen really well, I can read it well, but just processing it, making it my own, and communicate in that way, yeah, it was always a little bit of a struggle. And that's basically why I started like just over a month ago with just my only goal as a streaming thing, just to improve my English. That's really the only thing I do it for. I have no intention of anything else than that. If it happens, it's just a nice bonus, but improving my English is my main goal. Oh, it is too scary. Okay. Where is it? It's here. Yeah, well, tacos. I kind of have the same problem. I'm not that good in Dutch, and as someone from the Netherlands,
Please,
yeah,
stay a
it
moment.
can be sometimes a problem. I can speak it, read it, everything well, but just writing it, the grammar is really bad for me. Since most of the stuff just sounds the same. So for me, it's all the same, and of course it doesn't. That's the difficulty I have with my own language. And at the same time, you see English everywhere. I think if I take a look at my total consumption of words, like 75% of it is English. And technically speaking, 10% will be code or any other kind of programming language, and just the last few percentage is Dutch. It's my normal day. So I don't really see the point of improving my Dutch a little bit more. Oh. Where do we need to go? I always forget it. Oh, it's here. Okay. But yeah, that's a little bit my problem. And writing documents, that's really not not really the problem. It's not here either. Where is it? Where is this post thing? It's here, but where? Oh, it's there. Oh, how do I get there? Up there. It's up there. Oh. Yeah, that was mainly the thing I had on school. I had to write a lot of papers, stuff, and yeah, I was basically the only one that didn't have any issue with getting the minimum amount of words or pages. For some reason there was never a maximum amount, and my writing is quite dense and compact. Not too many words. If something is clear, it's fine, and just go on. But still, I ended most of times just in the 13-40 pages, and the rest of my classmates had like 5. At my place, it's currently just over 9 p.m. I'm from Holland, so that's just 1 hour past GMT. What's this? Oh, talk to Postmaster Proudfoot. Okay. I think this is a slow horse.
What do you need?
Yes, Hobbiton. Yeah, this is the fastest way. I will take a small break, give myself something to drink, and I will be back. Probably 1 or 2 minutes. I will be back before the horse is at the stable, I think. Oh well, it's just in time.
Good day.
Back to mission building. Yeah, well, it should be later at our place than United States. Thank you, tacos. I believe the US is like -8 or something. -9, not sure. And the Netherlands is in +1 compared to GMT, of course. So yeah, technically it's from your point later, and from my point it's earlier today. Bij 3 p.m. That's 6. Yeah, that can, I think. Yeah, -5. -5, -6. Yeah, that could be possible, yes. Not that good on the time zones, to be honest. Yeah. That's why I say all my times generally in the GMT format. So it's the easiest for everyone to translate that to their own place. Why am I picking the steed and not the goat? Yeah, I think I need to do something useful with my second trade line.
Can't a body be left alone?
Yeah, so that one is done. So we only have more quests, and return pie and postman does count as a quest, so we will be fine with that. Physical mitigation, resistance, tactical mitigations, yeah, can be useful. Oh, you get 2 of them. Oh, good to know. And yeah, let's start the pie, spoiled pie deed. And rather fast, to be honest. Of course, if you don't have to go back to the station, it's quite easy to do it fast.
A lovely day, isn't it?
We get back to Hobbiton. And then we start the return of the spoiled pies. And that will bring us again over the entire Shire. But I tend to enjoy that a little bit less. Since the postman will bring you from A to B and then to another place, and another place, and another place. But the pie quest is like, go to Hobbiton, go to another place. Go back to Hobbiton, go to another place. Back to Hobbiton. They will always be walking back to Hobbiton. So, yeah. It's just going out and going back, going out and going back. So that's not the most fun. Postman is way nicer. And after this one, we still have to do the Shire Brewmaster deed. For that one, I have to pick some of the information from Wikipedia. I always forget which inns you have to visit to do their quests. And again, those quests will bring you over the entire Shire. So it's just a lot of traveling today, and yeah, it needs to happen. Erdogan was done, at least the landscape area. In Sanur, yeah, we still need to do that. I'm not sure when we will do that, if we will do that. And there's a lot of stuff to do in Greenland as well. Oh, it's here. Good.
Please.
What do you want, blow? one of the pies. Where do we need to go? To Grimfoot. It's more like the testing, the tutorial part of the deal. And it's well funny that you can activate your run skills before you pick up the deed. They keep working, but you cannot activate them while holding the pie. Yeah, I know the struggle of doing deeds. On my main lawmaster, I'm well on it, to be honest. At least in the landscape deeds are almost done. Yeah. Back to the hornblower. And there are some deeds that are really bad to do. And I think the worst deed that you have to do is the Grim Slayer in Vorgal. I would really just recommend doing that one if you need it for your class. I don't really know which virtue you will get from it. And the Dragonhead Slayer in Moria is also really bad.
Is there something I can do for you? Could I take a moment of your time?
Dragonhead Slayer is, well, it will take forever. Besides that, that's about it. So not too bad. Where does this one need to go? Okay, over the river. But in Bree, well, most of the deeds are, well, not too bad. Oh, is that Hobbit walking? Yeah, okay. You're snacked.
Please, stay a moment.
Okay, we'll take that other bridge there and by water. That should be fine. Normally that Hobbit is a little bit walking around everything, so you can get rid of it quite easily. Not sure if I have the time for this. And some other bad deeds, I think the Crawler Slayer in the Troll Shoals, since those are passive mobs, and that way you won't see them on minimap. What else is quite annoying? If you do it sort of on level, Troll Slayer and Giant Slayer in the Misty Mountains, since they just take forever. Hey, fireworks! The same is true for Giants in the Troll Shoals. Yeah, those are a little bit lower. Generally speaking, not so worse. The thing that makes it up a little bit for me, at least, is that in both Giants Hall and Valley there are a lot, really a lot of resources to collect. And if you are like level 60, yeah, the Giants won't aggro you, and so you can, so you have all the time in the world to collect those resources. And yeah, what else? Let me think. Yeah, there's one in Everden, or 2 or 3 in Everden. You need to do those basically in the Anuminas instances. And depending on the class that you're playing, you can do it either solo or you cannot do it solo. And for us as the Tiny Toons or High Rollers or whatever we are at the moment, it doesn't really matter since we can always call upon each other. If you are on the server with either less friends or not such an active kinship, those deeds can be quite difficult to complete. No place for spoiled pies. Okay, we will just do the entire list. So there are just 12 pies. Just 12 pies. Maybe we are done within the next hour. Or maybe our maniac wants some help. Sure where he is questing at the moment. Flaming Deeps, oh that's such an annoying place. Redhorn Lode is really cool. Please, it's a good place, make big pools. And from the big pools, it's just a matter of the question: does all the heals add up with the extra damage that you receive? Or is it just better to go out all the way on your armor value, and with that in the physical mitigation? Not sure what the right answer is at the moment, at least in the pooling stuff. Going just for bosses, I think it's the best to go all the way in defense and leave the block rating for what it is. Then you kind of need to get lucky if you get a block. Unless you use some skills, of course, but generally speaking you need to be a little bit lucky. And normal mobs that aren't special or higher level or whatever, you have a fair chance to get them blocked from them. Then it does make more sense to go for extra block rating. And I can show you mine. I have no idea if this is high or low or whatever. Let's see what it is. Block rating about 6.6. And parry rating of 6.5 approximately. And yeah, the damage type for some reason has increased a little bit. I think it's maybe for one of the virtues. I have about 7k damage now. Physical damage. And it was like, I believe 6.6 this afternoon. And not sure if that is high or low for, I'm pretty sure it's quite low actually for Guardian. Since I'm still using my basic legendary item. I haven't yet upgraded it or anything. So it's maximum level 40, nothing special. Well, it's max level, so all the legacies that I need are on it. And that's about it. But, I have a level 60 legendary item now. It's a sword, sadly. This is an axe. Yeah, you can't have everything, of course. But I think I'm going to stretch it all the way to level 65 and then really work on the weapons. Bad Rabbit, thank you for the follow. You have, at least for me, a lot of follows today. Yeah, well, stuff. Legacies and stuff. So level 65 will continue or actually start with that. And I already kind of know what I want for my pooling layout. And yeah, not sure what is going to happen for the general boss defense stuff. I'm not really that much experienced with it yet. Bad Rabbit. Yeah, it's a nice name, by the way. How is it going to oh yeah, we need that other bridge. I have to remember that. Yes, we are going the right way. Otherwise we would end up again in that at the bridge with our hungry hobbit. and it wouldn't be the first time if I was caught by that habit. Just installing this to play, that's already a good step. You are already the man today. Is it easy to play? It depends a little bit on the class. The basic classes are really like a hunter. It's straightforward. Just start and do damage. So that's not so hard to learn. Some other classes are a little bit harder to learn. Let me think. And some classes are more used than others. If you pick one of the classes that are kind of essential in a fellowship, that will help you in the end, of course, finding groups and doing your group content. But you can basically pick every class, unless you are new to the MMO RPG game stuff in general. Then I would not recommend picking a Guardian. I'm playing a Guardian. For solo content, everything takes forever. Until a certain point, but by then you're already playing at least a month or something. Which fort, okay. But probably at the start, and Hunter is a good class. It's easy to play. The Minstrel, quite easy to play. You're either the healer or you're doing damage. So you can choose a little bit between that. Probably the Champion. That's the melee AoE class. Yeah, I think if you compare LOTRO to other big names, you compare it a little bit what is easy to play, I think LOTRO is one of the easier games to get started, progress a little bit. But you have to, let me ask the important question. Is this the first big MMO multiplayer role-play game that you start playing? If that, I need to give other advice. To say that's so simple is it. And yeah, if you have already experience with tanking, then you already know what your class needs to be. If you are more like a support guy, you need to take a little bit different class or a different approach. Okay, then nothing that I'm telling is new. At least I hope so. Oh wait, where am I? Missing stuff. Oh no, on the good place. So yeah, there you just need to know which classes there are, which you can play, and from that you can make, you can choose what you want to do. That's something I can tell you now. But in general, the learning curve is quite modest. Some classes are harder, but I think the hardest class to learn is the Warden. You cannot pick that one if you're just starting. Yeah, and the group content is added just slowly, no matter your level get higher. And I always forget where this spy is, by the way. Oh, it's here. Okay.
Oh, I hope it's not a bother, but may I speak with you?
And I think the first real group stuff is about, it's on level 25 or something, Great Barrows, level 20. Yeah, at that point you don't really need to know what you're doing. You get the red line of your class. and know the important things, you should be alright already. If you go a little bit further than that, level 30, yeah, well, then you are, I guess, playing for like a week, maybe 2 weeks. By then you already know how to play your class a little bit. That's a nice place to do some group content. And then the big one, level 40 is Illuminous. Most players don't do those for some weird reason. And then the big one is Carn Doom at level 50. And then stuff starts to matter. That's the point where you need to know what you are doing and what you can do, and most important what you can't do. But yeah, if you have a lot of experience in playing this kind of games, that should be fine. But just pick the right class. As a free player, you can have 2 characters at the same time. You can always increase your character slots, so keep that in mind. And yeah, after all, it's still the world of Tolkien, so it doesn't really matter what class you pick, it's always fun. Even for me, I'm like 50 levels above this area, but I still need to do some deeds, so I have to go back. And some reason it's some places it's a little bit less fun, but this is still the Shire, and it doesn't matter what level you are, the Shire is always cool to return to. And I have the same with Breland, and the same with Torrance Hall. And currently my most favorite area is and will be for a while Moria. Of course, we have Moria, and how it's worked out is really nice. That's something to consider. And maybe some aspects they would add a little bit more lore related stuff, in the sense that elves are quite nice for dwarves, which doesn't make always sense. In the way that the quest dialogue is somewhat static. Of course, if you are playing an elf, you will get a slightly different dialogue to see than a dwarf or a man or a hobbit or just whatever you're playing. And not every place is the same, and yeah, there are some good, a lot of good things here in the game.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Buy water. Oh, that's around the corner. Don't need to take a horse for that. And another easy question is, of course, if it wasn't an easy game and if it wasn't fun, why would this game still be around after 10 years? Maybe the easiest answer that I can give on the question. Yeah, what's this one?
Could I take a moment of your time?
Well, I think if you're looking at the game as a whole, one thing is by far the most important, and that's the kind of people that are playing it. And almost everyone, or actually everyone that I know, will agree that the community around LOTRO is just wonderful. And if I compare it to other games, like the world chat, is really used as a world chat. It's not a place where some weird trolls are spamming all day, or people are trying to, I know, have random conversations about nothing. That's not the case in LOTRO. That's stuff I have seen in other MMOs. and it was considered fine. But on this you will see just general content, kinship stuff, talking about lore. Depends a little bit on the server and how often you see that. For example, on Warlane, that's more a role-playing server. You will see a lot of talking about lore on World Chat. Just general stuff, some selling stuff. It's just nice. People don't get are not using it for any bad reason or something. And that's just seeing at World Chat. The four are quite active. Even on Twitch, I'm not sure how many LOTRO streams there are at the moment, but there are always a few. And yeah, they are not small, but not really big. So you still have some communication with the streamer. Yeah, I'm way smaller than others, but yeah, I hope you get the point. And just in general, there's 6 to 7 streams. Okay, I know there's one at the moment beside me. Yeah. Let's see what's next. Okay, let's take the code through there. And at one side you can say 6 or 7 streamers. Yeah, that's not so much. Not so many people are watching it. If you take it in general and you look at it and how many people that are actually watching or just really watching something, so yeah, that's a really big difference. If you look at the stream of Steam Play or Positively Evil, I think at most 80 people are watching. But the chat is really active, and not active with trolls or whatever. Just general good content to talk about, and good stuff in the chat as well. So that's something that says just a little bit about the community. Of course, we also have some roles and disadvantages. Lately there are a lot of gold sellers on World Chat, and it's just hard to get rid of them. But I know the LOTRO community has standing stones and everything behind the game is against it, trying to do their best to get rid of them. So that's a positive thing. Yeah, I think LOTRO is one of the better games to stream in general. We'll say that right. Going past it again, man. And I think it's really diverse. You have a lot of stuff to do. You can do a lot of stuff. There are more than one good way to play the game. And yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's just a nice, chill game to play. You can do something in between, for example, streaming, and yeah, not get distracted, confused, or whatever. Saying that, yeah, I mix up words all the time and butcher names, and yeah, but that's not the problem of the game, of course.
Might I have a word with you?
Yeah, and I remember just a long time ago playing LOTRO. After that, playing and watching other people's, and yeah, that's for me. That's basically just what started. I knew that my hardware, my PC was, well, it should be able to handle it, sort of. But of course, when you start trying stuff, things don't work as you want them to go. So I needed some weird janky setup, and well, that kind of works for me at the moment. So I'm not sure how much experience you have with streaming in general. A good setup is everything. It doesn't matter how it works. Even if you are watching another stream, for example, the stream of Furtherlands or Nel Nardis, Gabriel as well, sometimes you can just ask it simply in chat. What kind of settings are you using? I want to stream as well. And you will get just a really good answer from them. And I think that's something that has to do with the LOTRO community in general. You'll always get a good answer. Or you're just asking a really weird question. In general, you'll always get a good one. And it counts for streaming, in-game, some other technical Windows stuff, hardware stuff. You will always get a good and honest answer. Of course, ignoring the few trolls that you always have. It would be nice if there would come something useful on World Chat, just to break everything a little bit. An instance or so that he can run, just to break the pi return thingy. The Hobbiton? That's here, but where is the pi? Oh wait, the pi, yeah, of course, it's on the other side. Yeah, not sure if I'm a good place for advice about streaming, since yeah, I'm just streaming for like just over a month. Probably not the best place. Yeah, if you have questions, just ask them. Kind of a tech nerd, so doesn't really matter what it is about with computers or something. Always happy to answer the questions. Taco is in. Okay, troll short a little bit. Okay.
Don't you turn your back on me.
Oh, there's this boy. Okay. Makes sense or something. I thought I saw that that Hobbit wasn't bug out anymore. You can just straight for the bridge and then hopefully run past it. Oh yeah, the book quests. Thinking about it, I haven't done those on this character. Just with Furtherlands we have skipped almost everything. Everything related to epic stuff. Except the Angmar book. I believe that's book 6. That's one that we did. Well, what a range do they have, man. Okay, let's go back. Taco, did you also already did those cave trolls, or are you not yet so far? They can be quite well, either fun or really annoying. Not much middle ground in that one.
Don't you walk off. I need to speak with you.
I remember doing those on my Lore Master, and well, you can enter those caves always. Okay, not any trolls yet. Okay. The art room. Well, I won't try to spoil too much about it. There's at least one cave, let's say it that way, and there are just a lot of trolls in it. And if you're doing the epic, you will get some inspiration buff. will be easier. But I didn't know that the first time. Now my Lawmaster just plowed through everything and it was fine. And yeah, there was not really something special at the end of the cave, but yeah, thinking that it was fine. But yeah, then later you get back and you get the inspiration buff and oh, okay, it was meant to be a lot easier. So Lawmaster will be fine. I see your Runekeeper, it's... well, I cannot really say anything for a Runekeeper. I think it, without the inspiration it will be close to impossible. But yeah, a Lawmaster, of course it's also a light armor class. You always have the pets that can do the stuff. Yeah, that's done as well. A little delving, okay. Yeah, I know where to find them. Okay.
Oh, good day.
We shall delve in. We'll save a little bit of riding on our own. Now Maniac going. Still in the Flaming Deeps, okay. 56 in the Flaming Deeps, okay. Yeah, probably that's fine, thinking about it. I think Flaming Deeps is like 57, 58 or something. And then Malak is 59. Yeah, that sounds normal, sort of. Yeah, thinking about it, that would be a really good idea actually. And Brandywine is a US server, so that should work out for you. Basically, it doesn't really make much difference. And for you, rabbits, we are playing together with also a fellow streamer. He's called Furtherlands, and yeah, so. Okay, that's something I don't know. But we basically made, well, he actually had a kinship for already a really long time. Not sure how it was called. Hyperbology or something like that. Hyperbology. Not sure how to pronounce it, but that basically is what he does as a living. And we kind of joined that, and from that we started to actually make new characters, and all of us joined the Brandywine server. And that's how we started with the Tiny Toons. The idea behind that was we will all play as either a hobbit or a dwarf. We will be tiny. Yeah, and then hence the Tiny Toons. But it has some drawbacks since you cannot pick every class. For example, you will miss out on a Lawmaster or a Captain. And both of those classes are really needed in higher level content. Yeah, thank you, Dago.
Might I have a word?
And yeah, from that we made a decision that the Tiny Toons will end at level 65. Not that we would stop entirely and call it. We would cap ourselves at level 65, so we won't get past that level. And then we would start new toons for what we called the High Rollers. And the original idea for that was play as either a man, an elf or a high elf, since they are bigger than Tiny Toons, and so came to high rollers, but it now became a little more general, and we will set some certain milestones that you have to be like level 20 within 3 weeks or something. Just saying something, not sure what it will be. And level a little bit on that way, so we can do group content together. We can still play on our own pace a little bit. Decide when we want to play, and not be bound by certain times of the day. What is currently happening with Tiny Toons? We play from, I believe, 11 AM up to about 5 PM GMT. That's, well, for me that are times that are kind of working. For Atlantis it already is quite a strange time to play. That's up to him, of course. And yeah, it doesn't really work with many of our Tiny Toons, so the group has shrunk a little bit from, I think, about 12 to just 6. There's the high rollers, more people will join probably, and you are welcome, of course. And yeah, that's basically where this dwarf is from. Normally I play on either a Lorelin server or on Evernight, and nowadays more on Evernight than on Lorelin. Lorelin is a little bit dried up in the lower level content, high end high level content cap. I can't say nothing about that. I've never been that far, so not sure how that works. But on Evernight there are more players, and Brandywine is really healthy as well. So, pick either of those two servers and you will be fine. Yeah, 7 to 12, yeah. And Brandywine is an US server, and Evernight is an EU server. Physically, it doesn't matter, since all servers are in the US. Yeah, you will find more people from Europe on Evernight, and more people from America and that side of the world on Brandywine. So, from missile delving, it's the other way. So, and probably I will be host Furtherland's stream tomorrow, so you can always find his channel through mine.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Always, of course, you can also just find them on Twitch. That's also an option. Quite nice. Yeah, for this Guardian, still got like just over 4 levels to go until I'm level 65, and then when eventually the high rollers start, I will probably play on my current hunter. It's my oldest character that I have, and I really want to play that. On that one I have some of the fancy mounts and stuff you cannot really get easily nowadays. And he is level 37, So somewhere when our milestone, level stone, cap thingy is somewhere around how's it called? Somewhere around level 40 or something, then I will join my hunter. Not sure if I will be playing something else during that period. We shall see. Probably I will be doing a lot of deeds in that time on the guard. And yeah, when the Tiny Toon somewhat the high rollers get around level 65, then I will be playing on my guard as well. And seeing that Taco is also going to play a Guardian and Elnardus is going to play a Guardian, it's going to be a funny business. And a real nightmare for our minstrel. But of course we can all specialize a little bit. Where's this boy? Really don't know. Maybe up here? Or not? Oh wait. Here.
Hello there. Might I speak with you a moment?
So yeah, 3 Guardians. That will be an interesting experience. I'm going from right. Atago, I don't know where your specialty is for the Guardian. Maybe you're more on the boss tanking than the large number tanking. I'm more of the large number tanking at the moment. So that's a place to specialize. And as long as our minstrel knows that, that should work out. Not sure who's actually going to play the minstrel. Yeah, that's the thing that I have. I don't really like the boss tanking. Of course, it's technical, and pulling out a lot of mobs is also technical. But yeah, you kind of need a little bit of different armor layout. I don't really know actually why I prefer the many target approach. Maybe it's just breaking the meta stuff, but nobody is doing it, or just doing it on their tanking build or something. I don't know what it is. Well, that's at least one of the ways that it can work. And I know that there's also a lot of debuffing in the Guardian. That's something I can look into. DPS wise from the Guardian, red line. How am I going to say it friendly? It's not existing. That's, I think, the yeah, that should work. Echo, that should work. Maybe a little bit confusing for the minstrel, but we should be fine. One from Needlehole. Well, normally there's something useful in chat, but not today apparently. Let's see, Needlehole. Yeah, I noticed. I saw someone going offline, and yeah, there's something going to happen. Yeah, it's weird since sometimes it crashed like every day, other times it crashed like maybe once a month, and yeah, it's not so, yeah, how shall I say it? Consistent. Oh, it needs a horse all the way the other way. I was riding to stock. I need to go to a needle hole. Cannot get any further away from that.
How do you do?
Needle hole. That's of course the positive side from. Oh yeah. The positive side from the return pie, spoiled pie deed. You can always pick the, or always, most of the time pick the horse to the destination. You only have to walk back. But, yeah. Still, it's taking a long time. The post deed, for example, we did within 50 minutes. And well, we are like 40 minutes already into the pie, so just halfway. So yeah, I'm really hoping something fun is going over the world chat. A grand stair or something. Or something that's just a little bit lower, like the barrows or something. Just a fun instance to do with some lower levels. And pull the entire game at once, and just be fine. So yeah, it's fun, and absolutely live with it. Yeah, sometimes it's just funny to see other players have something like, what is happening here, and just they just cannot grasp what I'm doing. Since normally you pick like one group at a time, grab the aggro and get everything down. If you're a guardian with the block and healing, and like 10 levels above the enemies, or in instances 20 levels above the enemies, you can pull like 50 of them and be fine. Of course, there's a limit that we have found out today in the Numinous instance. It aren't the mobs that are killing you, but the debuffs are killing you. Every knockdown is so painful, I will just die within a few seconds. And yeah, then it's just a little bit too much. If you ignore that, and I can get into my rotation of skills, it will be fine. Otherwise I will just drop down at ground. But of course it's rather good to know the limit of your class, so you know how far you can go, what you can do, and especially what you can't. The last part is the most important. So, and I think that's probably why I think that the Red One Lopes is one of my best areas to go out and do random stuff. Mobs will still aggro me, so I don't have to shoot every single one of them. And yeah, they do kind of damage, can handle it. I think that's one of the best places to get used to pulling a lot and get your rotation going. at the same time, maybe not the best place to do that. Yeah, it's the place that works for me, the place where I found out that it was even a thing. And that time with quite some crappy armor, not really based around it, just thinking that it would work. Nowadays I've specialized myself all the way into block raiding, so I will block a lot more than usual. I know that there are a few skills around it will boost it even more, of all the way to 100%. Yeah, you can use those only like once every 3 minutes. And you need something to get past those 3 minutes so you can use them again, and most of the times you don't have to. That's the first like 50 seconds of a fight are always good. The 50 after that are, well, still good and not really a problem. But every minute past that point, that's the point where it gets tricky. It's my basically in the first 15 seconds the block rating is 100%. 15 seconds after that are like 50. After that just 25 or 30 or something like that. Not so really high anymore. And at the same time mobs have already used all their power, so the debuffs are less frequent. Sometimes with the violence in Moria, the totem thingies are less frequent, so that counters it a little bit. If you get past it, like the first minute of the fight, you already know you will make it or you won't make it. Scary, man, it's a long way.
Hello there.
This one. But that's how I play the Guardian at the moment. Not sure if that is the best way. It has some drawbacks, of course. For me it works, and that's the only thing that really matters, to be honest. The only problem that you sometimes have is getting lag and knockdowns. Aside from that, it's quite a foolproof method. Oh yeah, and not to forget, a minstrel that doesn't know it. Basically, after you've pulled like 17 mobs, you cannot grab aggro from all of them. And if your minstrel or rune keeper or just your healer in general starts healing, they will be in pretty bad shape, to say the least. I think Tago can confirm that from today. We did today the Annuminous instance, or at least one of them, and at the start, first thing I said is, don't try to heal me. It's quite weird, but yeah. Sometimes it's doing the weird stuff that will progress you in the game. And percentages are always nice, they will always break the game. That's my experience. Yeah, well, that's just one of the issues. If you pull too much, you can grab aggro of everything. If you then start healing, you will get the healing aggro like instantly, and you will die like 2 seconds later. I know.
Stay and have some tea.
Of course, normally if I'm just pulling everything, it's fine, it's no problem. Yeah, then I don't have to worry about anyone healing me or trying to heal me. Yeah, and it's generally just fine. Yeah, it can get quite ugly quite fast. But it's a learning curve, and in higher content stuff like Grand Stairs or more instances in general, I really need the heals. So that's also the point that I cannot make that big of a pool. And in some places in Angmar does it count as well. In some places it doesn't, and then if I'm playing with just a weird group from World Chat, it can make some pretty interesting situations. Last week I was in Urugard, something, a place south of Kardun, and there are some places with those idol thingies. Certainly not the best place to make pools, but one of the coolest places to do it. And I was just making a pool and just thinking of like, yeah, maybe it can a little bit bigger, just a little bit more. And from more became even more. From even more became way more. Until I get the point of, well, maybe it's just enough. And then you still have to pull like 2 more. And the entire fellowship was like, we're over pulling it, it's too much, you cannot handle this. And at the end, I would just start a turn around to kill everything. I get knocked down, and I had like 100 morale left before I could save myself, get the healings going, and be fine eventually. And yeah, it's quite fun to see people freaking out about it, and at the end just be fine. I always just answer something like, "Oh, it went fine," or just something silly or something like that. But yeah, it creates some weird situations sometimes. For me, they are funny, but for other players in the fellowship, can be a little bit stressful, to say the least. I think. Yeah, would be nice if we could do mixing words. Could do some instance today for some good reason. Of course, I can just start the John of Grand. Is it Great Barrel? It's Great Barrel, what's it called? Yeah, that's not really important doing it solo, especially on lower level. If there are some players just looking around for some help on the world chat, which often happens, of course, to be honest. Not too worried. Save like 10 or 20 minutes and help them. And the same is true for GA. Sure, what it stands for actually. I know the place, of course, but yeah. Yeah. Cannot remember at the moment. That's also a nice place. Those are instances on level 32. The mobs aren't too bad. They are blocking me more than they are dealing damage. Now from stock, man. Woodhall and Tempero. Well, we can at least take a horse to stock.
Good day.
Yay, Taco is back home. Now Maniac is still in the Flaming Deeps. And leveled somewhere today. That's just in time, man. Just 3 more. So, typos. Wow, typos today are quite bad. And after this I will do, well not today, but somewhere this week or next week, remaining deeds in Rearland. Most of them are in the Old Forest. I miss those flowers, most of the stuff. And we did them on the Tiny Toons one day, but I wasn't able to join that day. It's a little bit my own fault that I didn't do them. Let's see, where this... Oh yeah, okay.
Could I take a moment of your time?
Let's go. Still not something useful on World Chat. Of level craft generation. Not sure what it does. Oh, more crafting experience, okay. Yeah, I think I will just go into Moria, do some random area just for the fun. Or maybe we can try Halls of Night. Tier 1 should be quite easy. Not sure how we will do Tier 2. You need to do Tier 1 and 2 for the deed. For that. You can only do that instance while you are VIP. And I will be VIP just 5 more days or something. I need to do that one this week. Not sure what instance else I need to do. I cannot do after that. I know that there are some skirmishes that you have to unlock. Defense of the Prancing Pony is one of them. And you can unlock them via by use of the store. I believe it's 95 LOTRO points. Not too bad. If you get lucky on your deeds, it's close to 2 days playtime. You get a little bit less lucky, it's about a week. Yeah, that's a reasonable estimate. You're playing along with Tiny Toons, it's about 1 region. And Lewin, for example, will give you 135 points. That's the one I know from the top of my head. And a lot of players tend to farm in the Shire. They start with a Minstrel, since a Minstrel has a good burst damage. That's generally enough to get your enemies down. Use some deed accelerators and just farm all the points. Delete the character again and start all over. And in that way you get about 100 points per hour. Maybe per 2 hours. Something like that. That's a really efficient way to get them. And you can do that indefinitely. You really need points in a short amount of time. That's the way to go. Is it fun? Well, absolutely not. It's a thing you can do. And I think that's the big plus of LOTRO. You can unlock everything while playing as a free player. Or at least a lot. Probably not everything. A lot. There are some things that you just simply cannot unlock. One of them is fast travel, or swift travel from stable masters. You'll get a few by default. Most of them are VIP or premium only. And certain instances. And the mailbox, of course. You can have a portable mailbox as a VIP. And that one is VIP only. But yeah, I'm playing now for 7 years. I'm playing real time about 2 to 3 years. And over time we will gather enough points to get going for everything. So if people ask me, is this game free to play? I will answer yes, but you have to spend a lot of time in it. And can sort of shortcut it a little bit by LOTRO points straight from, well, basically real money. Yeah, it's not really my way of going. Or buy VIP for 1 month, and it will grant you a lot of those extras. For example, if you are VIP and stop paying it, you will become a premium player. A premium player has also the swift travels, a lot of the extras, and you can unlock a lot as well. You're basically just playing kind of free, in the sense that you don't have to pay every month, but still get a lot of the extra good stuff. And let's do Wood Hall. That's the last one. Quite surprised actually that we are doing it this fast. Stock. I probably won't do the how's it called? Find a word. The Brewmaster deed. Something for next time. I could probably just combine this, that with all that we are doing right now. Yeah, I didn't really look into that. Yeah, I kind of lost something to talk about right now. Let's see. Oh, Maniac's doing fine. Yeah, Maniac is playing the burglar, and I think that's the only class that I have never played on LOTRO. All the other classes I have at least tried, except the Yawning. I don't have that one unlocked. But all the others, except the burglar, have at least played up to level 10. So played is a big word. But at least experienced a little bit of what it is about, what you kind of can do with it, and how you need to play it. But the burglar, it's really a class that I've never made. And sometimes that gives some funny situations. For example, I know that Furtherland hasn't as well. And on the Tiny Toons we started with the Great Barrow, and we all were like, well, Guardian, do your tanking, Minstrel, do your healing, Hunters, do your DPS, and Burglars, well, do your burglar thingies. He just didn't know, and I will admit, I don't know either what they are supposed to do in the instance. But yeah, that gives some funny moments sometimes. But I will admit, I don't really know what a captain is doing during an instance. I know he can tank a little bit and he can heal a little bit, but besides that, I have really no idea. Yeah, the same is actually true for most other classes. I know that the Runekeeper can sort of switch between damage and healing, but not all of a sudden. Not all the way back again and again and again. You have to build that up. I know Warden, I know he can do a lot. And not sure if that's a lot for a long time, or just a lot really well, or just a lot sort of good. A lot sort of good at the end is probably not as good as you wanted. But still, it can tank really well, even despite the fact that he is using medium armor. That's quite impressive. But it's quite a selfish class. You have a speed buff, and the Hunter at least can how's it called? Share it with the Fellowship, but the Warden is just all for himself. And the Hunter can board the entire group to a place, and the Hunter can just master his own. That's a little bit of the difference. And apparently Maniac is just finding out how to play the burglar. That's good. That's good. But yeah, I don't have any idea how to play it. I know it's a stealthy class, of course, and dual wielding, that's about all the knowledge I have. I've played burglar, assassins, or just similar class before on other MMOs, and it isn't really my type of class. Generally, I'm more with casters, to be honest, not that much of tanking. Or I have a class that can do a little bit of tanking and DPS, so it's a little bit in the middle. And they're more of an off tank, not your main tank, but off tank. And not the main DPS, but some good DPS and some AoE damage. So you can compare it to a champion. But the champion didn't really work for me on this occasion for some reason. Oh, even one more patience. Oh, that's good. Yeah, we need patience a lot. Aside from the fact that we need to be patient. Patience gives in combat power regeneration. And we are quite often out of power in a fight. My virtues are quite weird. Guardian. Those probably are decent, sort of. Was one fellowship buff. I think it's this one. Gives more vitality. For 10 minutes, yeah, not so good. But yeah, this one, well, thinking about it, can be useful. With a cooldown of half an hour. Not sure how that can be useful. Yeah, and don't look at this trade line. There's nothing good on it. So fun deed that we can do in Warrior, for example. Deep Claw, that one is annoying. Dragonet Slayer, I'm not even thinking about it. Nameless Spider. Oh, just thinking, where are a lot of spiders in Moria? Scumfield. Best place by far. Worm Slayer. And Flaming Deeps. Not a hard one. Maybe it's a long one, but not a hard one. Yeah. I think I called it for today with the deeds. That's our good trade line, at least better. I know that I have to spend some time with the training dummy, but I won't bore you to death with that. Let's travel to... What is a region that I still have to do?
How do you do?
Not Malak. Yeah, that's what we can do. That's basically the area at the end of Moria, focused around the second hall, the first hall, second hall. Yeah, those quests are like level 58, 59, something in that region. And why do I still have my milestone in Dorview? I don't know. Probably not a good reason for that.
The time has come to drive forth the orcs from our kingdom.
First hall. Let's go to 21st hall. Yeah. At least I want to use this accelerated experience. Okay. We have some space in the bars. That's why I'm not wasting it tomorrow. Not sure if I'm really wasting it, to be honest, if I don't use it. There's a quest for the epic. Since the bonus experience that you get is based on your level. And I will also receive the VIP bonus tomorrow. So I already get a bonus that is scaling with my level, that will be used first. And just after that will the extra accelerated stuff be used. And that's then based, I think, on my current level and not on level 61. So I will waste a little bit. I think. Or maybe it stacks up to the next level. Not sure how it really works. Oh, you can also do those crafting instances. I normally don't do those. They're fairly easy. You can pull a lot of mobs in it. And also collect some resources. We still need a lot for the scholar stuff. So, I think that can be a good thing to do. The reason that I generally don't do them is that we are most of the time in group. And it's a solo quest. Or solo instance. So it doesn't really work doing it as a group. But nevertheless, they are quite fun. So finally, let's get those lockers. There are probably some more. Oh, it's really the only one. Okay. And there are always 2 instances, and there are like, at least I know that there are 3 of them, so 6 in total. They are timed, you have 1 hour to do them, always sufficient, so don't worry about that.
Once one of the great lumber storehouses of Moria.
This one's all about wood, so if you're a woodworker,
the iron garrison
you should be really happy in here.
to refuel their reclamation efforts. See Bultkar as a crucial location that must be brought back
Level
under the control of the
53,
dwarves.
so should be able to pull a lot of them. And there are some bonus quests, for example for those dwarf axes. It's good to do those. I will get back for those when I'm done with the enemies. Let's run past them really fast. And there are, I believe, 3 floors. At the end is one big final boss. Where are the stairs? Can't really say that they are hidden. Oh yeah. But you just need to know where they are. Look around, and still everything is following me. Okay, so this will get quite tricky to get back. And quite messy as well, I reckon. Yeah, oh, it's not too bad, not too bad. Get that cleaver thingy. Yeah, it's quite a group. Let's go up 1 more level and then we will start grinding. Because I think we will be fine by then. Oh shit. Morale is getting quite low already. Oh, this is a dead end. Oh. Oh shit. Don't break legs. Now I cannot block anymore. Oh, there's the second place. Okay. We should be fine. As soon as we turn around, it would heal all the way up. But at the same time, it's getting quite a group at the moment. I'm slightly nervous. This is going to end well. I won't pull the boss. I think that will be a little bit too much. And this is basically what I mean with the first 15 seconds. And somewhere close to now it's looking a little bit more tricky. It's my buff will run out. But we're doing fine. We need to stay a little bit higher on the power. I'm not really using my healing skill for the morale, but rather for power. From here it's just a matter of waiting a lot in the rotations, get your power all the way up, and pay a little bit attention on your morale option sometimes. And if your morale is getting low, you can always use Guardian Pledge to fix it a little bit, to increase your both your block and parry rate, sadly also your evading rate, so it will heal a little bit, get your rotations going, but the drawback is that you also miss some healing opportunities. Yeah, in this instance it doesn't really matter. Just keep Guardian's ward up and you will be fine. That will give a little bit more defense, reduce the power cost of your skills, and also increase your block and parry ratings. So just a little bit of everything. And this, well, maybe are not the hardest pulls you can make. The technique is everywhere the same. Sometimes you need to build up your aggro a little bit and your shield taunt when you're playing with Fellowship. Otherwise, you can use your shield skills all the way until the semi-AoE AoE stun skill. That can be really useful to interrupt a lot of introductions. You need to build that up quite early, otherwise you will be too late to use it. What? Oh, and make sure you got a target that is useful. Not someone is, not something that is somewhere weird out of the way. It doesn't work, of course. You'll notice that almost water, correct? Always, yeah. When you do something, people are asking for help. I think after all we need to go back for some more of those hand axes. And then we should be in rather good shape. I think, at least I've played a few classes. You can only do this on the Guardian, at least with somewhat on level stuff. quite sure you can do this as well when you're a little bit higher. For the on level stuff, it's the only way to do it as a guardian. And is it the most efficient way? Probably not, since the fights are really long and you can run out of power. And this one, it didn't really happen. But there are a few that are. You have a lot of debuffs, and you have to go back all the time. Purge those debuffs, and that costs a lot of power. And also a lot of attention. For every poison. Poisons are generally the worst things to get. There are also some other debuffs to increase in might. Threat in general is not really nice to get. Yeah, they will give you the hard time. Just the mobs are, well, fine. Just be brave and run into them. Not sure how the other instance is going to held up, but we will do that well soon. Yeah, but just boss fights. For this you really want a hunter. Or a champion. Or a burglar. Also a good thing to carry with you. Otherwise it can take just a really long time. Okay, that's it. All done. Done in 10 minutes. I think that's a good score. Collecting was a little bit messy, but not too bad. 10 minutes is really decent for this. Hopefully the XP that we get is also decent.
Shadow of Mordor will not long fill the
Oh, we
halls of Khazad.
won't get experience.
The time has come to drive forth the orcs from our
Maybe
kingdom.
this one?
These halls will be great once
We
more.
don't get experience. Okay. And for me there's no point today in
The shadow
going
of
further
Mordor
than
will
this.
not long fill the halls of Khazad.
Getting 3 of them is 12k. 1 of them is 10k. Okay, just give me 3 of them now. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Well, let's continue. It was fun. I have to admit that. Yeah, some experience would be nice before we end the stream. Oh, there's a goblin camp. Yeah, almost forgot that. Level 58. Okay. Push out. Really want the quest, then I can pull everything. I think I have to kill one first or something, and then it will pop up. Oh, or not. I have to go deeper inside or something. Should pop up at least. Oh, I see some good cool potential here. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. Would be an enjoyable one at least. Not sure everything will follow us. No, quite sure it doesn't. Wow, hardly follow you. Oh, that's not fun. Let's get out of here. We'll get here. Well, one more time at least. That's quite weird. Some of them follow you barely and others keep following. Well, yeah. What's this? Notification. Oh. I really need to learn a lot for my own class.
We have seen naught of Durin's bane. Be wary of your journey into Moria.
That was the last one. On the upper, the north, the south, and the east lower. Okay. It should be able to do from horseback. But here, it's further. Up. Just up there. Doesn't make much sense. No, that cannot be up there. No. Nope, doesn't count. And then we have to go a little bit down. Oh, this is a good vantage point. Okay. Oh, but this is a good vantage point. Weird. Or here. It's somewhere, at least. Here, maybe? Yeah. Just look for weird stuff. Yeah, it's such a nice place. It's so different from everything else in Moria. At one place you can say they're just real trees that have grown here. At the other side there's some pieces cut out or fell out, destroyed at least. That will indicate that there are still trees. So, kind of a debate, but it now really is. I don't know. I think it's just stone. Carven trees. So it's up for a little bit of debate. Good vantage point as well. Okay. Yeah. Just take a look yourself next time, man.
The shadow of Mordor will not long fill the halls of Khazad.
21k
We have little time to
experience.
spare. Great
That's
events have
much.
been set in motion.
Beat enemies on top of it. I think that's the goblin camp. Yeah, it probably is. You can see that. I think. Or not. Need to be a little bit more. Haha. Here throw. And select it. Can we get a highlight of him? No, we can't. I think those will count. Would make sense at least. And maybe we will get all the others as well. I know that there are a few more quests up there. Not sure when you get them. Yes, those count. So let's run in. Yeah, here are the quests that I meant. Accept. And accept. And pull the entire place. Now we don't have to walk that far, so it should be doable. We're losing a few. Can run back. Grab those. Oh no, not really the point of doing. Let's get the 100% block rating. Then we can walk to spear throwers. Get them in the group as well. Hopefully collect them a little bit nice. Yes, seems to be right. Get water, guard your water up. And keep it up. And you'll see this time the morale is slowly getting lower. And back up again. Now it's all the way full. I'm quite comfortable stunning a few of them. Stunning them, of course, means that you get less morale. You won't be blocking it. So stunning is not really something you want to do while you have your Juggernaut skill in use. I think that's just a waste of some good block potential. And you don't want to do it either when you are almost dead. Exception of course when you have less than 8 enemies, or 7, 8 targets. Then you can use it of course. We'll just hold the battle. And no debuffs, that's rather fun. That's quite a lot harder when you have to deal with debuffs. Spear throwers, probably low morale or some power to spare. Yeah, now the end to this side. Yes, yes. Push dash. Shield smash. What was it actually called? Yeah, shield smash. Yeah, now we are close to done. And should be just in time for stuff to start respawning. Okay, that was the bonus experience that we have to use up. And there's just something left here that starting all the nonsense around here. We'll do that once again as well. Maybe we will level, and that would be nice. What is it? A warrior troll. Okay. Yeah, now I'm just focused on the troll. Even hoping that the AoE won't kill the guard. The guard will probably miss a lot, at least block a lot. I mean, do attacks that I can block. That way heal a little bit. Would be nice if that is the case. Either way, I would be fine. Don't really need it. Yeah. This fight should go well. Either way. Yeah, another block, a parry, and a block. So I'm not really healing myself, but the enemies are just healing me. Time to use some skills for deeds. Quite some painful deeds actually on the Guardian. One is that you have to use a skill or few skills that has like 3 minutes cooldown, and you have to use it 1,000 times or something. Power is getting a little bit low, just in time. I'm really worried about it. He's about halfway. Fortune, Austerity, Endurance. It doesn't really matter. Actually. Let's get one down. Know that there's a coffin up here. It will give us another quest to head in at the Sovan. Swanar, how you pronounce it. That's why I want to get rid of this guard, otherwise I would have run to the outside already. Yeah. And this is quite a useful one to do. So let's run. Everything should have respawned by now. And most of it will follow us, of course. Don't really think about it. We should be just fine, considering how far we have to walk. I have just one left, and I think that was the last one. Yes. So we'll handle stuff, and then yeah, we'll call today.
May Durine return soon to his halls.
Level 61. It's officially my highest character in the entirety of LOTRO.
The time has come to drive forth the orcs from our kingdom.
So let's get the snake out. Brave one. Oh yeah, we have another 3 points. Let's see where we can spend it. Something that's useful, of course, but break ranks, maybe. Oh, it does increase as well. Ooh. Okay. Didn't know that actually. That's good to know. Shield spikes. I could be using them somewhere in the future, but not at this moment. I think I will save it up for another point in skill damage and get that up all the way. After that, probably this one. Get more AoE stuff going, and bleed on the AoE skill is nice. Do more targets is also nice. Makes it a little bit easier to control the aggro. But that will probably not happen until we go past level 65. Yeah, we'll get 163 and 65, so there's 2 points extra. And there are at least 2 more on the deeds quests, on the class deeds I mean. You will get there somewhere close. You get 4 extra points, 5 to spend. No, we won't get past it, I think. Not really thinking that there is something else useful, at least for this straight line. That's my opinion. It will probably change a lot in the upcoming few days. Yeah, today we did quite a lot. Did both the pies and the postman deed in Shire. Get some more patience. Always good to have. And we did a few quests here in Dunbarag. For those who want to know it. It's the second hall, the last hall before you leave Moria. Normally, at least. So I think that's is a good wrapping up point for today. Next time we will start somewhere in, oh, I don't know actually, maybe a little bit in Lothlorien, or maybe just a few more quests in here, since they give still some decent experience, or something random as well. I don't know, maybe more lore master stuff, or lore. What's the item up? Okay. Close to getting a reforge. 27, 28, 28, 80, max. Okay. So that's it for today, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.